The last words of famous historical figures, what they really said before they died. Some people die in silence, some in pain, some in peace. But some people leave behind a memorable phrase, a final message, a lasting impression. Here are some of the last words of some of the most famous and infamous people in history, and what they mean. Julius Caesar, et tu, Brute? And you, Brutus? The Roman dictator was stabbed by a group of senators, led by his friend and protege, Marcus Brutus. His words express his shock and betrayal, and his acceptance of his fate. Marie Antoinette, pardon me, sir, I did not do it on purpose. The French queen was beheaded by a guillotine during the French Revolution. She accidentally stepped on the foot of her executioner, and apologized with grace and dignity. Ludwig van Beethoven, I shall hear in heaven. The German composer was deaf for the last years of his life, and died of liver failure. He was optimistic and hopeful about the afterlife, and his musical legacy. Abraham Lincoln, she won't think anything of it. The US president was shot by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater. He was referring to his wife, Mary, who wanted to hold his hand during the play. He was kind and considerate, even in his last moments. Oscar Wilde, either this wallpaper goes, or I do. The Irish writer and poet died of meningitis in a cheap hotel in Paris. He was witty and humorous, even in his misery and poverty. Mahatma Gandhi, Hey Ram, oh God. The Indian leader and pacifist was assassinated by a Hindu nationalist. He uttered the name of God, as a prayer and a plea for peace. Winston Churchill, I'm bored with it all. The British Prime Minister and statesman died of a stroke at his home. He was tired and weary of his long and eventful life, and ready to depart. Marilyn Monroe, say goodbye to Pat, say goodbye to the president, and say goodbye to yourself, because you're a nice guy. The American actress and sex symbol died of a drug overdose, in what some believe was a suicide. She was talking to her friend and former lover, Peter Lawford, on the phone. She was sad and lonely, and perhaps hinting at her involvement with President John F. Kennedy. Martin Luther King Jr., Ben, make sure you play Take My Hand, Precious Lord, in the meeting tonight. Play it real pretty. The American civil rights leader was shot by James Earl Ray on the balcony of his motel. He was talking to his friend and musician, Ben Branch, who was supposed to perform at a rally that night. He was calm and spiritual, and looking forward to his favorite gospel song.